College sports allow high school athletes the wonderful opportunity to continue their athletic career and education. In order for that opportunity to become a reality, college athletes must have financial security while in school. As a high school athlete who may be looking to compete at the college level someday, this is an issue that directly affects me. While there are many possible solutions to this growing problem, the best is to increase scholarships to cover the necessary living expenses of college athletes. By doing this, focus is kept on education, the athletes are taken care of, and the colleges thrive. Now, there are many problems with the current way that the colleges are paying their athletes. While scholarships are being awarded to some students, they are often not great enough to sufficiently cover the necessary living expenses. And of course, many students are not lucky to receive any scholarships at all, meaning they are under substantial financial burden. Now, it also must be made clear that because they're playing sports, they can't get jobs. All of their free time is put into that sport that they are playing. For this reason, most college athletes don't have a stable source of income like a regular student. Clearly, a reasonable solution must be implemented in order to secure financial security for college athletes. Now, there are many ideas as just to how this issue can be solved, and one is paying athletes with a salary. Now, while this idea sounds good, it has many flaws in it. First and foremost, overcompensating athletes will compromise their education. Once a student earns a salary to play a sport, all of their focus will be put on that sport, and they will completely neglect education. Now, since students will still need to pass their class while they're being paid, in order to be paid, cheating is bound to skyrocket. In a survey taken by Robert Eichler, author of Student Athletes Need a Degree, Not a Paycheck, results showed that cheating is already a growing problem in American school systems, even college. The cheating keeps the students from learning, and as a result, the students will drop out of college after their athletic careers are over. Essentially, what it comes down to is that paying athletes gives them a sense of what the pros would be like. And while this is a great idea and a dream for most, it most likely will not happen for most college athletes. The reality is that only a small amount of the athletes at the college level will be successful in the pros. According to Rick Goslin, author of Scholarships or Paychecks for Athletes, approximately only 1% of college athletes will have success in the pros. Clearly, less focus needs to be put on the glamour of making it in the big leagues and more on education. The second problem with the pay-to-pay policy would be the negative effects on colleges themselves. By gaining the ability to pay for talent, the wealthier colleges would be far more successful than the poorer colleges. This would create an unfair playing field and make for considerably lesser competition. Furthermore, as it stands, colleges currently gain a great amount of revenue from their student athletes. This means that in order to maximize profit through pay-to-play, schools would focus only on paying players that participate in the sports that bring in the most revenue. As a result, a lot of the less popular sports or ones that don't bring in as much revenue would be eliminated, and therefore a lot of students would miss out on athletic opportunities. With all these problems that would arise from overcompensating athletes, there must be a better way to ensure that student athletes receive the money they need while keeping their minds on education. Now, while the problem may seem great, the solution is really pretty obvious. Many feel that college athletes do deserve more money to cover living costs. The idea is to provide money for these athletes without it seeming like a salary. The best way to do this is through scholarships. Currently, it costs around $2,500 for college athletes to live. Now, that's after room, board, and tuition are all paid for. It's for this reason that most college athletes feel like they're being cheated, and they have a right to feel this way. To fix this problem, schools need to beef up scholarships. On top of full rides, federal grants can provide spending money for athletes to cover the basic needs. With this solution, focus is kept on education, and students are kept out of debt. The scholarships can only be obtained if students are in good academic standing and are eligible for their sports. This means that students will be able to reap academic benefits that they weren't previously able to, and a lot more focus will be put on education. In this way, scholarships are far more effective than paychecks ever would be. As long as this simple solution is put in place, the current college system for student athletes will grow instead of deteriorate. All of us can take action to make sure that overcompensating of athletes and the issues that go along with it are avoided. According to Donna Moore, author of the Hartford Courant, more and more of the public are realizing the severe negatives of overcompensation. The best way to ensure that college athletes remain on scholarship and not salary is by making your voice heard. Rachel George of USA Today believes that it is up to the public to persuade successful NCAA policies. This is just what must be done, for we all must make our voice heard to preserve college sports and protect the student athletes involved.